When World War II spread across the Pacific, the Marshall Islands, tiny dots of coral scattered across the ocean, became caught in the middle of a global conflict far larger than their world had ever known. For centuries, the Marshallese people had lived in harmony with the sea, navigating by the stars, building canoes and sustaining themselves with breadfruit, fish, and coconut. But by the 1930s, the islands were under Japanese rule. Japan had fortified them into military outposts, turning quiet atolls into strongholds bristling with guns, bunkers, and airstrips. By 1944, the U.S. military launched its campaign to seize the Marshalls. Fierce battles erupted in Kwajalein, Enewetak, and other atolls. The lagoon waters turned red as American battleships shelled Japanese positions and Marines stormed the beaches. The Marshallese, caught in between, endured unimaginable hardship. Villages were destroyed, food was scarce, and many families fled deeper into the islands to survive. Some Marshallese were forced to labor for the Japanese. Others risked their lives to help the Americans once the tides of war shifted. When Japan finally surrendered in August 1945, after the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the war was over, but a new chapter began for the Marshallese. The islands, devastated and fragile, now fell under U.S. control as part of the Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands. The Marshallese hoped for peace, but they soon discovered that their homeland would become the stage for another kind of war, the testing of nuclear weapons. The nuclear era. In 1946, less than a year after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the United States chose Bikini Atoll in the Marshalls for its first post-war nuclear experiments. U.S. officials told the Bikinians that their sacrifice was for the good of mankind and to end all wars. Trusting and respectful, the Bikinians agreed to relocate temporarily, believing they would one day return. But the tests were far more destructive than anyone had imagined. The first bombs, Able and Baker, lit up the skies and sent shockwaves across the ocean. Ships were sunk, coral was vaporized, and radioactive fallout settled into the land and sea. In the years that followed, even larger bombs were tested. The most infamous was Castle Bravo in 1954, a hydrogen bomb 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima. It turned the sky white, poisoned the air, and showered nearby atolls with deadly radioactive ash. Islanders on Rongelap and Uttarik awoke to what they thought was snow, only to suffer burns, sickness, and loss of life. Generations of Marshallese would endure displacement, cancer, birth defects, and the loss of their ancestral homes. Bikini and Enewetak remain largely uninhabitable to this day. Though many were compensated, no amount of money could restore what was lost: land, health, and the deep spiritual bond with their islands, their legacy and strength. Yet the Marshallese people endured. They carried their songs, their stories, and their culture across the ocean. Many moved to other islands and later to the United States under the Compact of Free Association. Even in exile, they kept their traditions alive: canoe building, weaving, and storytelling, reminding the world that their islands were not just test sites, but homes filled with history, ancestors, and love. Today, the Marshallese continue to speak of their suffering, not with bitterness, but with courage and dignity. They remind the world of the cost of war and the danger of nuclear weapons. Their story is not only one of tragedy, but also of resilience. A small people whose voices still rise like the ocean tide, carrying a message of peace.